Listen, at this point, everybody that watches my reviews needs to start paying me because I'm tired of this shit. Like, I'm legit tired of Bkchat New York.
The script. Why don't we think on some, okay, well, you already, no, let me finish. So this is on some, you already fucks with me and then your friend fucked with me too. That makes you a hoe. Why would I want to date you?
No, that doesn't make me a hoe. It makes you the hoe.
Why does it make you the hoe? All right, so there are some situations now too where it'll be me and my friend and you fucked with me and then you fucked with my friend.
In a guy's world, that's a win.
Hey guys, it's Marvin Riley. Hope you guys are all doing well today. So we have the brand new episode, and as I expressed, I was happy to see Io, and you know, I am happy to see Io on the show because we haven't seen him for a while, and he brings that kind of Bachelor London era which we all desperately want, and I'm going to keep on saying that because that's what I want, and I'm consistently reminded of that when I watch Bkchat New York. As I expressed in my teaser review, we build this expectation. We build this expectation with this particular topic because we've seen it in Bkchat, we've seen it in debate shows, we know it's going to go, and it literally followed all my expectations, unfortunately, and whilst watching it, I was thinking to myself, like, I'm not really tuning in anymore, so I might even want to stop reviewing. I don't even know, like, I'm genuinely just losing so much interest within this particular saga of New York. No shade or tea to like the cast members, and it's not like a direct attack on them, but I'm losing interest ridiculously, and I just thought I'd let you know my thought process and to where I am, because people have expressed that, you know, other people have lost interest, but here I am still reviewing it, etc, etc. But we have this particular topic of, you know, sex and so forth, and a lot of derogatory words are used, which Nee was pointing out, like smash and so forth, and coochie, etc, etc. And you know, we have this mentality that really has been adopted by a majority of the men, and I'm not understanding where they got it from and why they act like children. It makes no sense. Like, you are not young adults, you are not in their 20s, you're not in your teens, you are big men, and you're talking about particular things about how one person is seen as a hoe and then the other person is not seen as a hoe, completely eliminating double standards. And yes, Asaze brought that point up, which I feel like was most definitely needed, but at the same time, Asaze, the fact that you're playing with your sisters and then you're playing with your sister's sister, like, I don't even know what's going on there. So I feel like Nee was saying, I wish that he didn't bring that up because it brings a different image. I don't understand how that can ever be. Like, I do understand that there are notions that we carry psychologically, and if you deplete them, then it'll be okay. But even then, it just sounds weird. But anyways, he can do whatever he wants to do, his own life. But I just feel like he kind of contradicted himself because he was saying that, you know, we should be quiet about stuff. We shouldn't be telling us that we should be classy. But then you're out here on the show saying you do this with your sister and your sister's sister. It just doesn't sound. It does not sound right.
I promise. I was like, I did so and so with your sister 5 years ago. She's like, well, I already know. I'm glad you told me. She respected my honesty.
So wasn't it awkward when you saw, like, do you ever come over to the house? Like,
they both came to my concert like a couple weeks ago.
Idris talking about how, you know, it doesn't matter. It's all good for us, and this whole idea of, you know, this particular area, and the ladies' private area is good for men, and you know, we're not seen as hoes and so forth. But you know, if a lady does it, they are. It's just a double standard that has just been quoted all over this episode, and I have to keep repeating the point of, you know, if you continuously have that perception, then unfortunately I don't feel like you would get anywhere proper in terms of relationships, not in terms of life, in terms of relationships. I feel like it's a crucial factor because you can't have that perception when you're going into a relationship. You're constantly amalgamated in something negative all the time, and I feel like Io and Adeze both made very important points, with Io stating the fact that we have egos, men have pride.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, hold on. Men, yeah, we have ego, yeah? I'm not gonna lie, we have pride, we have ego. So when I'm with my girl and I see my friend,
ego, and you know, that could be a reason or a catalyst as to why they think that either they need to protect the women, or they feel like, you know, we've had that seen as property and so forth. This that ego driven reasons as to why that happens. And we have Adeze talking about perception, which I feel like was a very good point that she made, that if you don't know about certain things, you can't have that perception. If you can't have that perception, then that person is not particular hoe.
In my home and smash 100 guys and you never know, I'm not a hoe.
you are a hoe.
I'm a hoe to you. I'm a hoe to you.
You are a hoe.
No, I'm not saying this.
It's all to do with perception. It's all to do with societal views. Most definitely, they have an impact, and I just feel like the men on the show are just acting like children. It's at this point where I just don't understand where it's coming from. This whole idea of when you're thinking who's getting used more. If you constantly have this particular, you can see this tail. If you constantly have this perception of who's getting used more, the men getting used more, the ladies getting used more, it just really becomes a toxic environment.
You are helping promote us. You are helping advertise us. You think we care? You're helping us fuck your friends.
We make y'all get used too. You think you're doing something.
It really just shrouds your mindset, and that's all you're really thinking about, because you don't want to be used more. It's more of a power play button, and you know that really doesn't lead to anything healthy in terms of the outcome as the end process. So I feel like that type of argument, if you're consistently arguing about who's getting used more, or you know, one getting used more, the other getting used more, then it is practically a dead end. You're not going anywhere in terms of the argument. So I feel like that, in terms of a good debate, that who's getting used more should have been changed into something more positive, but that did not happen. I feel like Nadia was a bit of a refreshing element to this particular episode. I feel like she just, you know, she's very truthful in terms of, you know, girls do it too, boys aren't the only people who do it, girls do it, they do it just as much, bringing in her own story, which is obviously very relevant to counteract Henny's point. I feel like she was very vocal in this episode, and I would like to see her continue to be vocal, because it is very refreshing, because I feel like she's somebody who would just tell the truth and just say it how it is. I just get that vibe from her. That's the whole idea of, you know, when you have a baby, or even when you're smashing all these girls, their particular area gets bigger and bigger and bigger. It's like, are you guys not educated? I don't understand. Did you guys not go to school? Like, what's going on? It's a muscle that tightens, and it gets closer, and it goes right back after intercourse. So I'm really trying to understand where they got that method from. Maybe they heard that from the streets or with their friends, and you know, they've really taken that into belief, and you know, it wasn't a joke for them.
It goes in, it comes out same size every time. It gets bigger. You can.
I have a baby and my pussy is still the fucking same.
It's not. No, it's not. No, it's not.
As far as I'm concerned, you guys need to head back into your textbooks, you know, go back to school or something like that, and understand actually that does not happen. And this whole idea of it's no longer the same anymore, again, it's all to do with perception, all to do with mentality, all to do with characteristics that have been built from your societal views that you've lived up in. It's your environment that is shaping the way you think, and that can be changed once you acknowledge it, and once you do some studying, and once you understand what really is going on. The whole idea of that gets bigger, 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 and it's not the same after pregnancy. Like, it is a muscle. It opens up and then it goes closer and it tightens. Simple as that. Yes, there are methods to tighten particular areas, but at the end of the day, it doesn't get huge and vast and loose and hanging out. Like, I don't understand that. And maybe, I don't know, maybe it was banter for some people, but I think other people actually believe that, and I thought that was quite sad, considering that these are big, big men. Also have Nee and Nadia. They have a little bit of an altercation.
But you're interrupting him. Exactly. So why can't it be? No, but you're interrupting me now.
No, we don't listen.
Okay.
Like, that shit is annoying. How can we have a conversation?
And I don't know if anybody clocked that, but I feel like these two don't really get on outside of the show, it seems like, because they do, you know, kind of irritate each other, especially when it comes to interjecting and interrupting each other, and they just want to, you know, have these little tit-for-tat arguments, which I feel like might explode in something big if it continues like that. So I thought that is something interesting that we should keep an eye open for. The moral of the story is people need to educate themselves, need to read a book, you know, have a stable perception. The mentality is ridiculous. You know, we're not children anymore. We're grown adults. We're grown big men. It's time to, you know, you can have your banter or your locker room talk, as they say, whatever. But the idea of taking that into belief is where it can get quite dangerous. So I feel like people really need to just understand what they're saying and comprehend the information that they are attempting to express. Because as far as I'm concerned, some of the stuff people were saying was just unfortunately incorrect, disgusting as well. Terminology, like, it's just quite derogatory, it's just not nice. But let me know what you guys think of this particular review. Let me know what you guys think of the episode. Do you guys like this episode? Did you guys enjoy it? Was it just predictable? Did you already put your expectations? What characters did you enjoy? Did you like Aya being on the show? What about Adeze? What about Flea? What about Bukola, Nadia, etc., etc.? I feel like just in general, Bukola's always shouting. Like, again, she was just doing this episode, she was just telling people to shut up. I'm like, I know I know she does not do it with any malice intention. I know she's not intending to be rude when she says, you know, shut up or whatever. But it's like, it's just annoying. Like, why are you shouting? Like, why do you have to, I know people can be naturally loud, but you can consciously change that if you're in an environment people who might find it irritating. Like, personally, ow, your claws, I just find it a bit irritating. I thought I'd just voice my concerns on that, because I just see it here and there. Yeah, but yeah, let me know what you guys think. Hit me up on my Instagram if you guys want to. Subscribe if you guys enjoy my reviews. Check out my website too. Thank you guys for watching, and I will most definitely catch you guys soon.